Updating settings. Y'all might be able to see or hear me now. Y'all let me know. Gotta get out of the schedule here. Microphone check 1, 2. Y'all gonna have to look for that stream now. Here's my channel. Microphone check 1, 2. Microphone check 1, 2, 1, 2. See how the knob shell will be building. Let me know if you can hear me this time though. Baser. Got my soundboard. Microphone check 1, 2. I think it worked now. I don't even know what I did differently. I think I changed the default speaker. It was set to default. I changed the microphone. I don't know what the hell. I didn't touch any of this stuff since I last recorded. But let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Power Not Show, I think you're the only one in this chat right here. So we're gonna be doing a Boson NetSim lab. I wanted to do just a real quick little lab before I step out. Yes, this is just gonna be a quick lab. Where is it? NetFlow. This one right here. You know what NetFlow is, right? Let me bring up a little thing I was going to use to explain that. Basically, it's a way to kind of troubleshoot our net. It's a tool that we can use to troubleshoot our network. We can kind of see what kind of traffic we have coming in and out of our network, and we can check both ways: traffic going in and out of our network. Where is there was a little thing that said this right here. I wanted to use. Y'all know my favorite. Open it. Okay. Close. Got a little bit bigger. So, for example, this router right here, we're going to be working with, right, is going to be considered the NetFlow exporter. Right? We have the internet right over there, the little ugly cloud. We got the switch right here. We got a local area network and the lab. Let's say we got some traffic that's going in and out of the network to the internet, going this way, right? This obviously is the exporter, so it's going to be able to read the traffic that's going in and out of the network, right? But we can take all of this traffic that we're reading that's going in back and forth, going this way, we can dump it to what's called the collector. This right here is called the NetFlow collector with storage, right? And then once all of that information gets collected onto the collector, we are going to be sitting here in our cushy little office reading the NetFlow analyzer, and you'll see like colorful graphs and things like that that tells us about the traffic that we're analyzing using a technology called NetFlow. And it was developed by Cisco, I believe. I don't remember. I can't give you any other dates or anything like that. But I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. We had some more people in the other video, but I had to cut it off midstream. I guess I should have done all of that testing at the beginning. I thought nothing was changed. I haven't really messed with any of these microphones or anything, so I don't know why. All I know is that when I launched Streamlabs, or known as OBS, it just started doing updates, and I was like, oh crap, it's been that long since I recorded, so I don't know, maybe I lost some settings there. So anyway, I hope you got Boson NetSim. Let's see, does Boson NetSim have some updates? Let's see, check for updates, right? I got the latest version, so we're good here. I already tested the Boson, so I was good there. Oh, man. Yeah, it's been that day, man. It's been that day. That's why I'm like, man, do I really want to get back into recording? But y'all know I like doing this stuff. It's been a minute. What else we got going on in the industry? There's some stuff that I wanted to pull up here. We'll give it a couple more minutes, just a couple more minutes. Some people to find the news stream. North Korea backed hackers have a clever way to read your Gmail. That's rather interesting, right? We've got all kind of clever ways to read not just your email, just everything, man. Like nothing is safe nowadays, right? Sharp EXT has slurped up thousands of emails in the past year and keeps getting better. Researchers have unearthed never before malware that hackers from North Korea have been using surreptitiously. Never heard of that word. That's new. That's a new word for me. How do I pronounce that? Surreptitiously? Read and download email and attachments from infected users, Gmail and AOL accounts. Who the hell still uses AOL? The malware dubbed Sharp EXT by researchers from security firm Velexity uses a clever means to install a browser extension. Oh, that's why. For the Chrome and Edge browsers. Velexity reported in a blog post. The extension can't be detected by email services, and since the browser has already been authenticated using any multi-factor authentication protections in place, this increasingly popular security measure plays no role in reining any account compromise. Let's see how it looks like. They don't even show you. They just have. Oh, I guess they show you like I guess how the code looks like, whatever. The malware has been in use well over a year, Velocity said, and is the work of a hacking group the company tracks as SharpTone. The group is sponsored by North Korea's government. Oh, excuse me, man. Government and overlaps with group tracked as Kentucky by other researchers. SharpEXT is targeting organizations in the U.S., Europe, and South Korea that work on nuclear weapons and other issues, North Korea being important to its national security. It's rather interesting. I guess they go on how the browser works, and then they show over here AOL.com. I really want to know who the hell is still using the AOL mail, man. You've got mail. This is the I guess the browser extension right here, monitor browser and enable dev tools. So it's using HTML. I guess what's that? Not JSON, but is that JSON? Whatever that is, whatever development language. Send runtime language to this parse response, and you can exfiltrate the email and attachment. And again, this is a Chrome browser extension, so you really got to have. I want to know who the hell is it. Well, yeah, there are ways to get some extensions without you even kind of like, I guess, in a stealthy way. But a lot of times these Chrome these extensions to your browsers, they ask you, hey, do you want to install this first? If you're just clicking yes, then yeah, you kind of deserve it. But yeah, they are kind of tricky when they're putting these little extensions hidden in here, and I guess that's what they're using to hack into your Gmail, AOL. God forbid you're using that. That's not the effect that I wanted to use. Yeah, I know I gotta get back in the swing of things with the sound effects and shit like that. But pretty nice. Old people, yeah, exactly. Old people use. I can't see my screen here. What is the price range for that Boson? I think Boson. How much it costs nowadays? Well, see, again, Boson, these people, they gave me a free promotional copy, but I believe it's about $180 for the full suite, if I'm not mistaken. But let's double check that. I don't want to steer you wrong here. Boson Dex. They got the CCNA version. Yeah, $180. Now, for the full suite, let's see how much that is. I believe. Don't see what the full suite is. Basically, it's going to be all of these guys right here. So you have the CCNA, then you have, I guess, yeah, David Bomble's been working with them as well, and he's importing all of his labs on there. I don't know if that's works yet or not. Encore and an RC Labs. So it's $180 for the CCNA labs, but for the entire suite, trying to pull that up real quick. Encore, $179 as well. It looks like it's $180 for each one of them, but how much is it for the entire suite? That's what I want to know. An RC is also $189. I don't know, man, but it's definitely $189 if you want just the CCNA portion of the labs. I don't know. I do not know how much it costs for all three of them. Maybe you got to pay $180 each. So I don't know. Let's get on with the lab though. Let me get caught up with these streams here. You said old people use AOL exactly like I said. Yo, what's up with the Boson? Yep, I'm using it. Going to use it right now. We're going to get into NetSim, this Boson NetSim lab or NetFlow within NetSim. 179 for Cisco. Yep, exactly. I thought of the Earl for that. One-time payment. Yeah, it's just a one-time payment. They also deliver courses as well. Yeah, Diane Foster in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. How y'all doing? They give you access to Cisco give you access to the live equipment for free. Yeah, they do. Not necessarily equipment, but they do have software that you can use. It's like a sandbox. It is called Cisco D Cloud, I believe it is. If you go to like CiscoDcloud.com, and you can do a trial version for a lot of their software for free. So yeah, that is true as well. But as far as like iOS and stuff like that, you kind of like especially if you're new, you're better off using like Packet Tracer. That's the best way. That's how I kind of learned as well. I love Kevin Wallace. Yep, Kevin Wallace is dope. He is. I learned a lot from him. He's got great courses, and he also has a Udemy course. I think he collaborated with David Bombal, and he also has his own website. I believe it's kwtraining.com, if I'm not mistaken. Packet Tracer is free. Yes, it is. It is free. Let's go ahead and get started with the lab. I think we'll do Packet Tracer lab tomorrow. I wanted to do a quick VTP lab. We'll start doing a lot of easy stuff before we start getting back into the swing of things. So y'all know it's been like 2 months since I streamed, and y'all can see I barely got the sound going here. So it is what it is, man. When you haven't used this shit in a while, I guess I should have done a test run, man. Y'all don't understand how difficult it can be to have a YouTube channel, man. All right. So for what purpose would you use? Now that's what I love about Boson NetSim. They don't just get right into the hands-on and stuff like that. They get you to kind of like reinforce the topics by asking you some kind of like reflection questions so you can reflect on. What purpose would you typically use the Cisco NetFlow feature on a router? Again, is to troubleshoot your network. Let's say we're like, God damn, somebody is using too much Netflix. We need to figure out where this traffic is coming from, right? And let's say we set up Netflix on router 1 right here, right? And we have all of the traffic, and the router 3 is probably the ISP router, all the traffic going in and out this way, right? Well, we only have one user, right? And most likely it's host A that is doing all the Netflix streaming and stuff like that. And we should be able to track down who it is. But let's just say host A represents a whole network with like 100 computers, right? Well, NetFlow, we could track down who is what's called the top talker and is using most of the Netflix traffic. So that's just one example. It's not just to trace down who is the top Netflix users. That's just an example, right? What is a drawback using the NetFlow feature? I don't know any drawbacks, to be honest with you. I think that there's you can only use it on. Well, no, I think you can use it on multiple vendors. But when you're setting it up on the router, obviously it's done on Cisco iOS, but when you export the traffic to a collector somewhere, you would need something to analyze that traffic. So that's actually not really a drawback. Let's see what they wanted to know, though. That's what I like about Boson NetSim too. The answers are right at the bottom. So if you don't know, and I'm not going to make pretend that I know. So what is the drawback using a NetFlow feature? We scroll down at the bottom. It says here, the drawback to the NetFlow feature is that depending on the hardware platform and the number of simultaneous traffic flows, enabling NetFlow feature can be very processor intensive. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. It'll use up the CPU and stuff like that, and can have a large impact on the device performance. Therefore, NetFlow should only be enabled when required on most hardware platforms. So if we're setting it up on this case, router 1, not only is this going to be like, let's say our WAN router, right? If we're setting up NetFlow, we're using a lot of the CPU, and if we're using a lot of the bandwidth, then we're going to be running that CPU, to the ground, to that router to the ground. So on top of the person that is streaming Netflix or downloading their torrents in our office over here, we're going to be using NetFlow to analyze it, and it's going to use up the CPU as well. So we're using up bandwidth and we're using up CPU. So it's going to be really hard on router 1 there. Question number 3: configure. Oh, it doesn't even a question. This is actually a task here. Configure NetFlow for inbound traffic on the FA01 interface of router 1. So let's go ahead and bring this topology up. We'll float that guy. Bloop. Right? Actually, let's do this. I hope y'all can see me and that at the same time here. Let's see what we working with. What we working with. Is that what I wanted to do? I don't think I wanted to do that. That's not what I wanted to do. Docket. I wanted to look at the topology. Where is the topology at? Where did it go? Come on, man. Come on, man. Jeez, man. Where did it go, man? Come on. Float. Yeah, I know it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, man. Y'all bear with me, man. There it is, right there. I've been zooming in and out the whole fucking time. All right. And they said router 1. They said the FA01 interface. I'm not too sure. Most likely, so let's separate it. Let's break this down here, right? When you're setting up NetFlow, you need to define pretty much kind of like an access control list. Where's the incoming traffic going to be coming from? And where's the outgoing traffic going to be going to? Because remember, we're going to be dumping all of the information to what's called a collector. So if this is router 1, let's just say this is a different topology, right? Let's say that's representing router 1, right? We're going to have the inbound traffic going this way, which is known as the ingress traffic. So we need to define the ingress interface, and then the outbound traffic, which is known as the what? Egress traffic. Egress is going to be going to the collector here. We're going to be collecting the data, right? So in this case, router 1's FA0, what did they say? 00 is the inbound traffic, or also known as the ingress. That's how I remember it, right? In for ingress, inbound, and egress is exit, egress, right? So FA00 is the inbound traffic. So to do that, we go to interface FA00, and then we say the commands for most of the NetFlow commands, they start with the keywords IP space flow, right? And question mark, we'll see right there. Egress, enable outbound NetFlow, and ingress, or in, it's enable the inbound traffic. They said to do inbound traffic on FA00. So in this case, we need to say IP flow ingress. So that is the ingress interface. And then configure NetFlow for the outbound traffic for FA01 interface. So FA01, we need to go to FA0/1, and that is the exiting interface, or outbound. It's IP flow what? Egress, right? Simple enough, right? Question number 5, or task number 5. What is the default NetFlow data export format on Cisco routers? I don't fucking know. So guess what? We're going to go to the answers over here. Question number 5. The default NetFlow data export. Because remember, again, we're going to take all of the traffic, right? We're trying to figure out who the hell is streaming Netflix over here, right? We're taking all that traffic and we're dumping it on here, right? And then we're gonna look at all of that traffic. Got these ugly eyes right over here, right? And then we're gonna say who the hell is looking at this is we're gonna say who the hell is using up all of that that Netflix traffic on our collector here. So we're going to be exporting that data there. But what format is it in by default? I don't know. So let's go see what the answer is. They said by default, NetFlow traffic is exported using version 1. And I forgot to tell y'all that there's 5 versions, right? Or 3 versions. Version 1, version 5, and version 9. I don't know what the hell happened to 2, 3, 4, and 7 and 8 versions, but those are the default export versions on Cisco routers, right? But Cisco recommends that you change the export version to the highest version supported by your NetFlow collector. Most NetFlow devices support export versions 1, 5, and 9, right? So by default, it's using version 1. The highest version is what? Version 9, right? So how do we set that up? They're probably going to ask us, right? Go back. We was at question what? Question 5. What is the default? So we know the default version is version 1 when we're exporting that traffic. And question 6 says, or task number 6 is configure router 1 with the highest supported version format. The highest supported version is what? Version 9. We go to global configuration mode. We say IP. Remember, all of the NetFlow traffic commands start with IP flow, right? We question mark for context test of help. We'll see the destination. We can define where the destination to, where we're going to send this traffic to, and the version. In this case, we want version what? We question mark. We'll see we can do version 1, 5, or 9. So we just do version 9, which is the highest version, right? Number 7. How many questions we got? We only got 9, and we're done here, right? See, that's what I told y'all. This is gonna be real quick, lab. We're gonna knock this out. I know, y'all know. Typically, I stream for about an hour, and we spent a good, I guess, half hour troubleshooting to keep my sound and stuff like that. But y'all know, I'm just now getting into the swing of things. It's been about 2 months since I streamed. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, I just moved, and I don't know if y'all see this new background here, but yeah, I got a new crib and stuff like that. So life has changed for me, y'all. And I still got stuff going on right now. I'll probably give y'all the news maybe like as more streams go by, and maybe I'll start. I'll tell you a little bit more about my personal life and stuff like that. But y'all know I try to keep that out of the stream. Y'all ain't here for that. We're here to learn about NetFlow and Cisco routing and switching and stuff like that, right? So configure. Question number 8 is, or task number 8, configure router 1 to export NetFlow data records to a NetFlow collector with an IP address of 1.2.3.4, really arbitrary IP address, listening on port number 999, right? Or 9999, right? So again, what we're going to be doing here is, in this case, router 1, let's say this guy's router 1, right? And we're going to be dumping it to a collector. All of the traffic, we're dumping it into the collector. That collector has an IP address. In this case, it's going to be 1.2.3.4. And he's going to be listening on port number 9999, right? Right. And again, let me show y'all real quick, right? When we're dumping this traffic, there's a lot of how do I say, attributes this traffic has, right? And I seen it right here in the answers. They break down right there. When we're doing an IP NetFlow, the traffic is going to have it has to have a source IP address where it came from, right? That's going to let us know who the hell is streaming all that damn Netflix traffic. The destination IP address, which is where we're going to be dumping this traffic to, right? The protocol number, right? Because in case we need to see who's using all of this TFTP traffic. Who is using all this SMTP traffic, for email traffic, right? Or who is using this specific, torrenting traffic, right? We can define it by the protocol number, the source protocol port. In this case, it's 9999. The destination protocol port, well, actually, I believe the destination is 9999. So we got a source and destination protocol port, the type of service bits, and the associated interface, right? Remember, we have an ingress or inbound interface and an outbound or egress interface, right? You can configure NetFlow to monitor either ingress or egress, just like I just mentioned right there. What they say they want us to do? NetFlow collector with an IP address of 1.3.4, 1234, port number 9999. So in this case, let's see. We're going to define it. We said IP flow. They all start with IP flow export, right? Or IP flow and then export in this case. Destination. They said, what was the destination number? It said to export to a collector. So in this case, it's the destination, right? 1.2.3.4 is the IP address. And then they said the port number, in this case, 9999. So it's going to be any number from 1 through 65,535. We got Professor Black Ops in the building. Y'all check out Professor Black Ops if you're into like cybersecurity and stuff like that. Stick of the day. You know what that is, right? Security technical implementation, guys. NetFlow information about traffic crossing the switch. NetFlow exports are not encrypted and contain information about the virtual network. Now, see, I did not know that. It is not encrypted. Even if we're using the highest version, there's version 1, right? Which I would think is not encrypted. Or version 5 or version 9. I did not know the NetFlow traffic is not encrypted. So that's good to know. Verify that all NetFlow target IPs are correct. So in this case, our target IP is going to be the IP address of 1.2.3.4. And the destination port is 9999. We do question mark for context sensitive help. We can also define the protocol. They didn't ask us to define the protocol for this specific type of traffic, so we're just going to leave it as is, right? And we'll just press enter. As you can see right there, the CR means carriage return. In other words, you ain't got to put nothing else in it, right? So press enter. We define that type of traffic. Now we can define some more type of IP flow, which is the last step right here. They say configure router 1 to export NetFlow data records to a NetFlow collector of the IP address of 4.3.2.1. So this is going to be a different. So let's say, in this case, we have a collector here. He's 1.2.3.4. We can have, let's say, another box right here, another virtual machine with another IP address, and dump the traffic over here. Maybe this got more space, or maybe we're just separating our traffic. Who knows? But they're just doing this so that way we can show you, we could take some of our traffic and dump it onto this collector, and take some of this NetFlow traffic and dump it onto that collector. But again, like Professor Blackoff said, it's not encrypted. So we need to be careful, and we need to make sure we're sending it to the correct collectors. Because let's say somebody hacks us, right, and we can send them all traffic, and they say, yeah, dump it onto this server right here. The IP address is 1.2.3.5, right? That's why we need to make sure we're sending it to the correct collector. In this case, they said to dump it onto IP flow export destination. The IP address in this case is 4.3.2.1. Don't use that as an IP address, y'all. Right, listening on SCTP port number 888. So the port number is next, 888. Space 8888. And with question mark, you'll see you can either do export over SCTP or export over UDP, right? Yeah, I know what UDP is, right? Uni something datagram protocol. Somebody remind me what the U in UDP stands for. But basically, it's a protocol that is used for like streaming and stuff like that, and it is connectionless oriented. It's a connectionless oriented protocol. So it doesn't require like a 3-way handshake and stuff like that. Unigram, usergram, data, user. I can't remember. Somebody remind me what UDP stands for. We got Anders Tech in the building. Anders Tech 79 in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. Scott Sparling in the building. He said, I just did 3 quarters in school that covered all CCNA 200-301 material, and I have still all the text and material, and I don't recall learning about NetFlow at all. Yeah, man, that's one of those topics that it used to be like 2% of the CCNA exam. I don't know if they even have it on the CCNA, the new version of CCNA exam. I don't really recall, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's one of those exam topics that is rarely ever covered. So shout out to Scott for taking that course, man. You're gonna take the exam, man. Professor Blackoff said, "Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, appreciate you for welcoming back." What else were we gonna say here? So yeah, to your topic, I mean, to your point, Scott, Boson, NetFlow is actually in the. You see how we Boson NetSim, they've got it. They've got all of the topics organized in each exam. So, like you said, you were taking the CCNA 200-301. NetFlow is nowhere in there. So if we pull up the exam bullet points or the exam topics, it's probably not on there. So you're right. It might not be on there. It's not on. This is actually a CC and P topic. So it's let's see, it's under Encore, I believe. Yeah, so it's actually a CC and P topic. So it's just like it's on the advanced version of the CC, I guess the Cisco exams. So that's probably they probably took it. They used to be on the CCN exam. They moved it over to the CCNP exams now. So it is a CCNP topic, and that is what I'm kind of studying for right now. But anyway, shout out to you for that one. Task 2 is to verify. So we're just gonna kind of run some show commands, and then we're gonna call it a night. In this task, we will verify NetFlow configuration on router 1. On router 1, view a summary output of basic NetFlow configuration on each interface. Which interfaces are configured to monitor inbound and outbound traffic with NetFlow? And I believe it's just show IP flow. You can just do show IP flow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Show IP flow. Press enter. No, we're missing something here. So question mark, we'll see. We do export or interface. We'll just do export, and I believe that gives us the broad a broad overview of what how NetFlow is set up. So show IP flow export, and we'll see. Let's make this a little bit bigger so y'all can see. We have here, as we can see, we set up version 9. We are exporting to this box right here with the IP address of 1.2.3.4 with a protocol number of 9999. We've got some information about our version 9 flow records. We've got 700 flows, UDP datagrams. Somebody remind me what UDP stands for again? Yes, CCNP. Thanks for the clarification. Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, it used to be on CCNA exam, but yeah, they basically, I want to say about February 2020, they said, you know what, let's take this shit out, let's put it over to the CCNP exams. So if you want to learn more about this stuff, you got to pay for that exam. It's just a money grab. So Cisco recently said they were planning to add lab simulations to the CCNA soon. Good point, Anders Tech. Yes, that is very true. I saw a blog post a while back. Also, they are going to bring back the simulation exams. In other words, all of this stuff we're doing right here, all this hands-on stuff we're doing with the CLI programming and stuff like that, they're actually going to put that stuff back in the exams. And I was a big fan of it. Yes, you can question mark and kind of fumble your way through it, but a lot of times you still got to know what some of this stuff means and how to set it up. So you can't always question mark through it if you're just if you're a newbie. But and you'll be wasting time anyway. So they probably was like, yeah, we need to bring it back because how are we gonna give a test and there's no hands-on stuff on it? So it just makes sense. I don't know if they're gonna do it for the CCNP exam, but we all know it's already added to like the lab exams for like CCIE and stuff like that. But yeah, they are gonna bring back the hands-on stuff where you actually got to configure stuff. So I'm a big proponent of that. I'm glad they're doing that. Good point. What else did they want to know? Which interfaces are configured to monitor inbound and outbound traffic? That command didn't tell us that. So what we got to do is show IP flow export interface, right? No. What is it? Export. Just export. Show IP flow export. No, that's not what it is. Show IP flow interface. Show IP flow interface. That's why. And this display flow configuration on interfaces, this lets us know which is the ingress or inbound interface and which one is the egress or exiting or outbound interface. And that's the command right there, show IP flow interface, right? What else they want to know? We got 2 more questions left, and then we're going to call it a night. How many NetFlow collector addresses are configured? I remember configuring 2, but what happened to the 4.3.1? 4321 address. Did we set it up? Oh, you know, I push control. There it is right there. Y'all see that little Z right there? I push control Z, and I never really set this up. So I need to go back and set that up again. Let's go back to global config mode. That's a good review anyway, right? IP flow export destination. The address was 4.3.2.1. Protocol number was what? We said 88. So 88, and the protocol of SCTP. I don't even know what protocol that is. Let me look that up. SCTP is Stream Control Transmission Protocol. So I believe that's like the protocol that's used for like Netflix and shit like that. Let's see. The stream control. So SCTP is a computer networking communications protocol in the transport layer of the Internet Protocol Suite. And let's see. That might be. This is gonna be a fun fact for us. What protocol does Netflix use? Oh, Netflix uses TCP actually. That's interesting. Netflix uses TCP because TCP is much time sensitive and does not require port forwarding and helps to enable the full bandwidth of the network. I would have thought it was UDP. That's bullshit. Wow. Both Amazon Prime and Netflix use TCP as the transport layer protocol. YouTube, on the other hand, uses both UDP and TCP. That is rather interesting too. Well, food for thought. You do the dishes. All right, so now we can do show IP flow. Come on, man. Show IP flow interface. No, not interface. We were going to do export to see, and there's our two two boxes right there that we're going to be exporting the data to. On router 1, we have 2 NetFlow collectors configured. So good thing they had us use the show command to see if we even set that up, right? On router 1, display the NetFlow statistics that include the number of flows per protocol and the source and destination IP addresses associated with each flow. How many transmission or TCP flows are there? How many packets have been transmitted between the 10.10.10.2 and 172.16.10.4 IP addresses? I believe the way we can do that is, I thought it was this command right here, the one we just did, show IP flow export. I guess not. Let's see. Maybe it's something else. Show IP flow. We still got to do something here. It's not interfaces. It's definitely export. And this doesn't tell us. Here's our flows right here. Exported. We've got 769 flows exported. 725 flows exported in SCTP. Yeah, flows per protocol. So that's what they wanted to know right there. And then they wanted to know how many packets have been transmitted between 10.2 and that IP address, which is, so basically, let's see, let me pull up the topology here. I believe that is going to be, they want us, so we set up NetFlow here, right? We have incoming traffic going this way, probably outgoing traffic going that way. They want us to know, let's see, what is those IP addresses? Let's see. Who is 10.10.2? Let's look up. And here, 10.10.2 is, I believe, is the router. And then 172. What? 10.1 is router 2, all right? Let me see. 172.16.10.1. Let me see that question again. What was the question? No, 172.16.10.4. Who is that IP address? Oh, how do we do that? 10.4 doesn't even say. I believe that's an interface. Let's see. So IP interface brief. I just want to see what that is. For 10.2, I don't even know what that is. And 10.4, I don't even know what that is. I don't know. let's see. That's why I'm glad they have the answers here at the bottom, and then that'll give us a good idea of what they want us to do to figure that out. Oh, you actually got no. That's the configuration. They wanted us to see that it's import, outport, version 9. And oh, that's what we got to do here. That's why we got to do show IP cache flow, and that gives us information from one specific address to another address. Show IP cache flow. So that's how we do that, y'all. See, I don't know everything, and this is the reason why I like going back to the basics and doing this with y'all. Right? Show IP cache flow gives us that information. Show IP cache. I'm typing one thing and saying another. There's right there, and they wanted us to see source IP of 1010.2 and the destination of this. And what did they know? They wanted to know about that. They wanted to know. Oh, come on. What was the question there, man? I got so much going on here, but that's a good breakdown, though. How many packets have been transmitted between the two addresses? And there it is right there, 68. So we have an address here, source IP of 1010.2. That's probably the PC. Is there a PC in here? I didn't see. Where's that topology at? Yes, there is a PC. Is that the PC right there? Let's see. IP config. No, he don't even have an IP address. I don't even know what that IP address is. Rather interesting. I don't know, but we have a source IP address of that, a destination IP address of this, and we have 68 packets. But let me not cut the stream off here until I figure out what the hell those two are. 10.4. 10.4 is probably one of the other IP. One of the maybe that's that other router. Maybe it's this guy. Let's see. What is he? Show IP interface brief. Nope, that's not in here. Is it one of those other routers? Or is it? It's not the switch. Is it this router over here? Enable. Show IP interface brief. It's 10.1. I don't know who that is. I have no clue who that is, but I mean, we was able to determine. Is it the switch? Show IP interface brief. No, definitely not him. So we're analyzing traffic, but I don't know where the hell it's coming from or going to. I really don't know, y'all. But I wanna know what it is before we cut this stream off. What is 1010.2? Destination interface is FA00, and the destination IP of 10.4. It's definitely not. There's no like other computer on the topology here. We already checked the IP addresses of all of these guys right here, so I really don't know. Y'all. I guess it don't matter at this point. I don't know. What I'll do is I'll look further into it and see where that source traffic is and where the destination traffic is, and then and I'll let y'all know in the Discord server. If you guys are new to this channel, I have a Discord server, right? And on there, I'll kind of like let y'all know if I'm like running late on my stream. I didn't let y'all know today, or if I'm gonna cancel a stream, whatever like that. Let me give you guys a invite to the Discord server, and it kind of gives you kind of like a heads up on what I kind of do on my channel and stuff like that. It's been like a good 2-3 months since I've streamed. I'm just getting back into the swing of things, so apologize for the hiatus there. Let me plug that in. Where is it? Punch it in there so I could get the try show CDP neighbor. That'll help. That's a good point. Let's see. But that is the Discord server. Show. No, that's not it right there. Go back to router 1. He wanted to see show CDP neighbor. Let's see. Let's look. It's not router. Switch 1 and router 3. Let's do detail. He's 2.1. That's the switch, right? No, that's router 3. Router 3 is 2.1, and the switch doesn't have a management IP address, so it's not that guy. He only got 2 neighbors, and it's neither one of those. Good point though. Let's go to router 2 and see Yo, CD for your neighbor detail. He's got a 1.1 neighbor, and that's it. That's it. I really don't know where that source and destination traffic is going to, where it's coming from, where it's going to. All we know is that we got some NetFlow traffic, and we are I guess analyzing it, but whatever. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got for y'all today. Tomorrow we'll do a quick packet tracer lab. I had a request actually, believe it or not. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, people do be hitting me up like, "Yo, when you gonna start streaming again? When you gonna start streaming again?" Or, "Hey man, could you cover this topic real quick?" So tomorrow I'm gonna do a VTP lab. I'll share the lab we're gonna do on the Discord server, and we'll stream tomorrow on that. It'll be a packet tracer lab, so real something simple like we did today. So now comment, like, subscribe to the network.